I don't really even want to talk to you right now.
Do I? how much of a lead do I got? Is it over 30? What? It has to be over 30 at this point. Is it like, wait, hang on, I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess here. It's 35. I actually don't remember what you had last week, so I'm just taking a guess. Did I get that right? Please tell me I didn't.
You didn't. It's worse.
No, wait, is it really? I kind of feel bad. Okay, I'm over it.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Nick's Picks Week 14 of the NFL season. And I'm not joined by anybody today because fuck this guy. Fuck you. I'm not even introducing you. If you want to talk, you can talk. Fuck you. Just talk.
Hi guys. I think Nick's upset that I'm up by. He didn't really tell me how much, so I guess I'm gonna find out now. But I guess 35, and I'm assuming based on down below, it's a lot more than that.
Welcome back to Nick's
Hey, John.
Picks. Last week was a struggle. Let's get right into this last week recap so you can all know why it was a struggle, and then I'll let you guys know the score. So it started off with a Thursday night game between the Cowboys and the Seahawks. Ben's wager pick that was not looking good for Ben the entire fucking game, and then Seattle did their thing. The Cowboys did their thing. Cowboys go on to win this one. Yay. So that just started the week. We move on to the Sunday games, the Patriots going up against the LA Chargers, and I would just like to real quick throw up a clip from last week. This won't be a very entertaining game. I don't recommend watching.
Yeah.
We were right. This was not a game to watch.
To be fair, I thought the Chargers would have more offense.
If you watch this game, more power to you. I picked the Cardinals as an upset a week ago. They don't fucking win, and then they come out and beat the Steelers. That sums up the fucking season. Cardinals go on to beat the Steelers 24-10. The Steelers, I mean, we've said it all season. The Steelers are frauds. We all know it. This kind of proves it. The Colts escaped a trap game against the Tennessee Titans, winning 31-28 in overtime. Colts desperately needing this win to stay in the AFC playoff picture, which is still a very, very close race. But this is a huge win for the Colts moving forward. The Texans went on to beat the Denver Broncos 22-17. I knew this was going to be an interesting game. It was a close game all the way through. Not as much offense as I quite anticipated this game to have, but either way, the Texans managed to get this one done 22-17. And now that Jacksonville, I mean, we'll get to their situation here a little bit more in a bit, but now that the things that are going on with Jacksonville are going on, Texans a legitimate shot now at not only the playoffs, but this AFC South. The Lions also escaped another trap game against the New Orleans Saints, 33-28. The Lions defense just has been struggling these past couple weeks, and for a team that is 9-3 and supposed to be one of the top teams in the NFC, this defense is going to have to play better because there are some high-powered offenses in this NFC that I don't think the Lions can beat right now with the way that they're playing. But either way, they managed to get the win, 33-28. I can't let you just be happy this entire episode, so rant about your Falcons here for a few seconds. 13 points against the Jets. Just go on.
I think what's sad is that I almost wish it ended 2-0 with the safety, not just because of a loss, just because I think that'd just be hilarious.
It would be.
The fact that you would have lost 2-0, I would have full on accepted that.
The Dolphins went on to beat the Commies 45-15. The Dolphins always beating up on shit teams. We'll see what happens when they actually play a good team. Won't be this upcoming week, but eventually they'll have to play some good teams. 21-18. The Buccaneers beat the Panthers. Does anybody care? Anyone? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, this is where the week went really downhill for me. Not only did I think that the Eagles had the offensive power to not only keep up with the 49ers, but beat the 49ers, I did not see Brock Purdy having that level of a game. And I know you didn't. I know you had that as your 2 point that the 49ers were going to have a better offensive footing, which is another reason this week sucked. Ben got his 2 point. I didn't get my 2 point. Wow, Philly.
I didn't expect double the yards. I expected maybe 50.
Every problem that I've been saying about Philly that has just probably made me sound like a Philly hater all season long literally came true in this game. The Rams went on to beat the Browns 36-9. For the first time this season, the Browns defense just didn't play to their best. I mean, 19 points is about what the offense can put up for the Cleveland Browns. So if the defense is going to give up more than 20, the Browns just never have a shot in any game.
What do you think about it?
All right. What do I think about this game? This is now the third or fourth good game by Jordan Love in a row, as we continue to shit on him every week. Still, in my opinion, rightfully so. The Packers are probably going to make the playoffs because the NFC, just outside of obviously the top 4 teams, not that great. As long as you're treading around 500 right now, I think you have a legitimate shot. Packers have a legitimate shot. They're hot right now. I think this game proved more than anything that the Chiefs just have way too many offensive problems. Mahomes has zero help. Zero. Besides Pacheco.
It's really Pacheco and
you can't
Kelce.
run. Yeah, when you can't throw to Kelce if he's triple covered, and you can't run the ball with Pacheco all game and just expect to win. Like, Mahomes is going to have to throw the ball, and he doesn't have anyone to throw it to.
I think the only thing is I don't think there was PI on the one with Kelce, but there was definitely PI against MVS. But regardless,
they lost.
The Chiefs shouldn't have been in that position, honestly.
No. And finish it out Monday night with the Bengals and the Jaguars. What we said this should have been a great game ended up being a great game and a terrible game if you're a Jaguars fan. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence goes down with the ankle injury. It looked a lot worse than what they're saying it is. They're saying it's just a sprained ankle at the moment. Then again, we're recording this on Tuesday. This is literally the night after it happened, so more news could come out prior to or after us recording this. But the Bengals, I mean, Browning looked amazing, and the Bengals look like they could still put up a fight. I don't think they have that in them for at least like the situation that they're in. If they had started off the season hotter, then I think this whole Jake Browning thing could potentially work out for them moving forward. But at this point, just get to the offseason. So with all of that being said, Ben gets his wager pick. I don't get my wager pick. Ben gets a challenge that I had on him, so he gets basically 2 wager picks in this. Ben had his 2-point conversion. I did not have my 2-point conversion. I scored 5 points last week. Ben scored 17. The current score of Nick's picks is 170 to 131. You are up by 39 points.
Just want to say you're my best friend. You know, I love you, man. And let's get into the Week 14 games.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. Let's get right into these Week 14 games so I don't have to sulk in this anymore. It starts with the game you guys are watching tonight between the Steelers. Sorry, I forgot who they were playing. That's how insignificant of a game this is. Yeah, the Steelers going up against the Patriots. I don't see the Patriots offense being able to put up like anything. I gave them 10 points just to be nice, but they didn't put up anything against the Chargers, so what the fuck makes you think they're going to put up anything against the Steelers?
Yeah, I'll get more into it on my 2-point. I mean, you could kind of guess where it's going with my score, but yeah, I don't think either team's that great.
We move into the Sunday games. I was this close to picking the Buccaneers, but being down 39 points, I don't feel like I'm in a position to talk shit, so I humbly took the Falcons.
I'm actually kind of surprised that you said humbly in the Falcons in any kind of sentence.
Can't do anything.
I mean, we got a defense. Moving on. That's all I got, sadly.
The Indianapolis Colts going up against the Cincinnati Bengals this week. I was actually pretty close to picking the Bengals in this one, too, with how well the Bengals offense actually looked last night. But the Colts are a playoff team. The Colts actually have something to fight for at this point in the season and have proven that their backup quarterback, has won games. I mean, I'm not trying to say anything bad about Jake Browning. He just hasn't won anything yet for the Bengals. So I'm going with the Colts in this one, even though they're the away team, even though the Bengals looked great last night. I got to go with the Colts on this one.
I'm going with the Colts on this one just because they're the more consistent team.
You can tell I've just kind of given up because, we're picking most of the same things still. The Browns going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars this week. All the way up until the fourth quarter of last night's game, I would have been picking the Jacksonville Jaguars in this game. But without Trevor Lawrence, I can't do it.
And maybe he'll be back for this game, and we both lose.
And with how bad the Browns' defense was last week, it's very possible that the Jaguars are still able to move the ball somewhat efficiently. But I just remember the only thing that I can physically remember of the Jaguars all season long is us sitting here questioning what's wrong with their offense. Why aren't they putting up the points that they should be? Now you lost your franchise quarterback. I can't trust it. The Texans going up against the New York Jets this week. This is my wager pick. Hopefully it's just 3 points, please, at this point. I don't think the Jets can put up very many points on offense. I mean, that's been the story all season long. That the Texans are obviously hot. Going with the Texans.
I was like, yeah, they're the hotter team right now. We said earlier they have a chance to fight for the division,
and a legitimate shot now. They have a newfound motivation now that Trevor Lawrence is out.
I think the only thing I will say about this when it comes to the Jets, it's sad that the Jets want to go back to Zach Wilson, and Zach Wilson's just like, nah, I'm good.
To be fair, if I'm Zach Wilson, I'm saying no too. The Ravens going up against the Los Angeles Rams this week. I almost made this one my wager pick, but I've already gotten burned on wagering against the Rams once this year. Not gonna fucking do that again. And the Ravens, I mean, obviously we expect them to win this game. I would wager on it, but the Texans over the Jets just seemed safer.
I had this one a lot closer, even though it's at LA, air quotes for a reason. I just think that the Rams are the hotter team right now compared to the Ravens.
It's actually in Baltimore.
Oh, it's in Baltimore. Even if it was in LA, it still wouldn't be a home game anyway.
The Lions going up against the Chicago Bears this week. The Lions, like we said, have had some struggle on defense over the last couple weeks, but the Bears are the Bears. So, like, if they get 17 like I gave them, I would be pretty happy. If I was Chicago,
I gave them 20.
There you go.
Not much more.
The Saints going up against the Panthers this week. I actually had this close because even though the Panthers are 1-8 and the Saints have a legitimate shot at winning this division, I don't think the gap between these two teams is very wide.
I don't think it's that wide of a gap. I also think the Panthers they're just imploding at this point, which is kind of good for me because you trade your first round pick this year, so you won't even have a top pick. So it makes me feel happy at least.
Yeah, the Panthers, hopefully Bryce Young can figure it out, but the Panthers are going to have a rough couple years ahead of them. The Vikings going up against the Raiders this week. I mean, the Vikings are legitimately in the playoff race. The Raiders, not so much. But I really don't feel like this game is all that significant.
Yeah, no, I don't really have much more to add to that other than go Josh Dobbs.
Go Josh Dobbs. The 49ers going up against the Seahawks. I mean, I feel like they just played each other. It was on Thanksgiving. Like, that was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know. I know from our, fantasy league that it's, they're quick. I'm like, that weirded me out. But.
And the Seahawks, I mean, ever since that 49er game, I mean, they had a great offensive showing against Dallas for the first 3.5 quarters, and then they just couldn't move the ball anymore, and Dallas just caught up pretty quickly. I don't see a chance they beat the Niners.
I think this could definitely be a trap game for the Niners, but because you can look at it, they just had an amazing game against Philly. You would think that maybe they might be tired, but I mean, Philly didn't really beat up on them. So
well, speaking of trap games, I feel like it shouldn't be a trap game for either team. This should just be a battle of two of the best teams in the AFC. But this feels like a trap game for the Kansas City Chiefs. This feels like one of those games that Buffalo's just going to come in and win. I'm not picking it. I assume you're not either. But this really does feel like one of those games Buffalo comes in and win because they have the offensive power to go into a shootout. I don't know if Kansas City has that offensive power this year.
I could see this either being a close win for the Chiefs or, as much as I hate to say it, a blowout win for the Bills. Because I don't think, outside of Mahomes with Kelsey and Pacheco, who do they have? MVS is solid, but who do they realistically have at wide receiver?
The Broncos going up against the Chargers this week. I cannot believe I am picking the Denver Broncos over to the Los Angeles Chargers.
Neither can I.
I cannot believe that. That is just wild to me. But the Chargers just imploded.
Could you imagine this week 1?
You talked about the Panthers imploding, and I get it. They deserve that word. They're 1-10. The Chargers, literally the definition of a team that imploded on themselves. Brandon Staley has absolutely fucked this team over as hard as he could.
What's sad though is that because they got granted it was 6-0, but because they got a shutout last week, he's probably living high. He's oh look, they didn't score on us. It's yeah, but your offense is still terrible because you can't coach shit.
All right, the game of the week, Sunday Night Football. The Eagles going up against the Cowboys. If the Cowboys are to go on to win this game, they will be tied with the Eagles on top of the NFC East and on top of the NFC with the 49ers as well. Technically, the 49ers would be above all of them because they beat the shit out of both the Cowboys and the Eagles. Yeah, this is set up to be a great game. I will get into it more in my 2-point, but I am going with the Eagles a second time here. I know it fucked me last week. I just
want to challenge it this time.
It's December. It's Dallas. It's for the division. This is the kind of game Dallas loses. We said it last week with Seattle, and they almost fucking did. This week it's happening.
That was the day before. That was the day before December. It was like the calm
Yeah.
before the storm. So I could totally agree with you. I'm honestly picking Dallas because I had the Niners as the 1 seed in the preseason. So I'm just trying to get that back.
Get that to happen.
That's really all
Gotcha.
I'm just going off of that. Even though it doesn't matter. It's a pride thing.
All right, and we get 2 Monday night games this week, starting with the Packers going up against the Giants. And Slower, this is as close to an apology as you're going to get from me, because I'm picking the Packers, Ben's picking the Giants, and I'm challenging Ben's pick of the Giants because there's no fucking shot the Giants beat the Packers. And if the Giants win this fucking game and I lose 3 challenges this year, this one specifically where the Giants beat the Packers, you owe me an apology. Let's get that clear.
Look at hey, this is a win-win. You know, either the Packers win.
No, because if the Giants win, that is not a win for me. Because it fucks our draft pick. We're not making the playoffs. That's not happening. Fucks our draft pick. I fall down 40 plus against you. No, the Giants winning is not a win in any way, shape, or form for me.
Oh, well, maybe it's just a win for me then.
And we finish it out with Ben's wager pick, the second Monday night game of the week. The Dolphins going up against the Titans. I mean, I agree. Don't think the Dolphins have any real shot at losing this game. I mean, the Titans put up a fight last week against the Indianapolis Colts, but I mean, as much as the Indianapolis Colts are a playoff team, I think the gap between the Colts and the Dolphins is still pretty there. So I don't see the Titans putting up too much of a fight.
I was like, plus the Dolphins got a very much improved defense, especially since Ramsey came back. And
the Titans are below 500, and that's literally what the Dolphins
all you need.
Yeah. All right. And the 2-point conversions for this week, I am going back to that game of the week between the Eagles and the Cowboys. We've seen it all year long. The Eagles' number one problem, their defense is awful. Their secondary is, their front line obviously isn't awful, but their secondary is awful. Absolutely atrocious. Any quarterback that plays against Philly has a fucking field day. You watch Sam Howell put up like 400 yards on them one week.
I think both weeks, actually.
So I do think Dallas is going to have a good offensive outing. Philly, obviously I have Philly winning the game. They're going to have to keep up with Dallas if they're going to win. Philly always manages to find ways to win. Between the two teams, I have them putting up 800 offensive yards between both Philly and Dallas. Going to be a lot of offense in this one. I hate both of these teams with a burning passion, but I will watch every minute of this game because I love good football, and this is going to be good football.
Segueing to what is definitely not going to be good football.
Yes.
Please do not watch.
Two polar opposite 2-point conversions here.
Do not watch this game tonight because if it's like my 2-point, it's going to be a snooze fest. The Steelers and Patriots. Can you name me anyone on offense for either team?
Actually, the Steelers do have some decent receivers. They just don't have anyone to get the ball to them.
Exactly. Plus, Kenny Pickett is hurt, and I don't remember if Trubisky's there or not.
I was going to make my fucking 2-point that backup quarterbacks would have 1,000 passing yards combined this week.
And then you look.
But I'm pretty sure it would be more of a 2-point to say that starting quarterbacks would have 1,000 yards because I'm pretty sure there's less of them.
I'm pretty sure you're right on that. But anyways, back to this absolute shit show of a game. I think there's going to be 0 touchdowns scored, whether it's offense, defense, special, doesn't matter. There is literally going to be no one walking into that end zone at any point between either of these two teams because that is how bad these two teams. I think the Steelers will still win, but that's how bad these teams are, in my opinion.
It's one of those things where I feel like Amazon Prime should give us some money back after watching a game like that. Like, that's just horrible. All right, but that is it for Nick's Picks Week 14. If you guys liked the video, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, leave some comments down below. Just congratulating Ben on his first ever, because it's not fucking happening. 39... No fucking shot. If you lose this, you're retiring.
Oh, I'm never letting this down.
You're retiring. I'm making you retire. I think I'm gonna have to fire you if you lose a 39-point lead.
It's not retirement. It's straight like
you're fired. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I mean, I'm losing by 39. I still have fun doing this. I still like talking football, so I hope you guys enjoy watching us talk football with you guys. And like I said, leave some comments down there. I love getting into little debates with Slower about how much the Packers actually suck, even though they're giving him these false signs of hope in these last couple of weeks. I'm sorry, I get it, Slower. I know what false hope looks like. But we will see you guys in week 15. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great one. Peace.
It feels good. This is like...
I'm just going to stop you right there. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. You know what's worse about this? If you took all 3 of my wins combined, all 3 years, took my point totals, added them all up, took your point totals, added them all up. I don't know if the differential is 39. I think in the overall scheme of points between the 4 years, because of how bad you're beating me right now, I think you would be winning in like terms of points overall. But you're 0-3 currently.
I think what's also weird is that I joked like I think like week 8 that I might break the record. I think I might break that before the playoff.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it.
Bye guys.